thing in his mind when he got there. Not wrong, but just narrowed the angle a little bit too much for himself.
If Fabinho doesn't get a cross, is he scoring?
Well, unless the keeper saves it, it's definitely on target.
Yeah.
So Fabinho did really well. He's got caught between. If he goes too early, the ball's played past him to Murphy. If he waits and waits too late, he could smash it past him into the net. He timed everything pretty well.
He's done really well in there in general, hasn't he?
Absolutely. He's been a godsend for them in respect of having lost Van Dijk. Then they lost Joe Gomez. They just keep losing centre-backs, but Fabinho, since Van Dijk dropped out, has been terrific for them.
Can we put a slow start down to fatigue, down to too many games?
I think
Salah generally a little sharper.
When did Liverpool play? I'm trying to think, when did Liverpool play? They've had an extra day, haven't they?
I think they have had the extra day, yes.
You know, so I think they've had an extra day. So no, I don't think so. And I always think with Klopp, if he feels there's any fatigue in his side, he'll make changes. You know, he's left Matip out. He might be worried a little bit about him. He's left Wijnaldum out. He maybe thinks he needs a little rest. But you know what he's like. If you ever thought one of his 3 stars at the front was fatigued, then he would leave them out, Richard. That's the best chance of the match for Liverpool. They had other couple of good ones. But that one, Matt Ritchie, wrong. That's sometimes when you put a forward-thinking player in a defensive position, he makes the wrong decision. And Matt played him onside, but Cal Darlow makes a fabulous save. That's in. It's nestling in the bottom corner if the keeper doesn't get that big right hand to it. Big save for Newcastle. And Firmino, you know, he got this one here. Who would you want that ball to arrive at to control and hit? Me too. Him. It would normally be one touch, hit, goal. And I was amazed. This one's a decent header. It's coming from the wrong side for him. I don't think coming that way, going that way is his strongest side. But it's a good header. A lot of power in it, but there's no great accuracy in it. He's opted for power, trying to power it past the goalkeeper. But they've had a couple of big chances. It was important, I think, for Newcastle to get to half-time level. I think if they'd have conceded a goal there, it's a long way back then.
I've asked you this many times. I'm going to again. You talk about his strong side. As someone who headed a ball, how does that happen? How are you aware of it? And to what advantage can you make of it?
Well, how you're aware of it, quite simply, somebody throws a ball and crosses from one side, and I knew very early on in my life, although I was left-footed, which is sometimes strange, it's often the other side, because I'm right-handed. It's often the other side, but I was left-footed, and if the ball coming from this side, right, I was there. Right, coming from the right, that was my strong side. A right winger going down the wing, a right back crossing it. If I came in, I would bet myself all day long from any decent range. That's my strong side. I'm going to score. I'm going to make the keeper save it. If it's coming from the left, I wasn't as good. I was okay, but I would have called that my weakest side. Yeah, of course you did. I worked at training an awful lot, especially when I was a kid. When I was at Dundee United for 2 years, I worked basically, I would say at least 3 afternoons a week. And when I went to Aston Villa when I was a kid, 19, I must have worked there again 3 afternoons a week if I didn't have a midweek game, working on my finishing, my heading. Yeah, that's what you have to do.
When the ball drops on the foot, you've got no choice. But can you?
No, I mean not really. You can't really choose because the ball's either coming from one side or it's coming from the other. You know, if it's coming from there, I'm confident, really confident. You know, and if it's coming from here, I'm okay, but I was less assured
and
with that side.
You want that free kick or that cross arcing away from the keeper?
Yes. Well, I've always wanted anything that comes from here. The fashion is, it's become over the last, 10 years or so, is for a right footer to go out here and bend it in towards the far post, causing problems, maybe dropping in. I see why. But for me, that's an easier one for defenders, because when the defender's back in the room, it's coming towards them, they can head it out, right? They can clear it. When you go that way and you're out here and it comes in and you're going towards your own goal, it's a much more difficult ball to clear. At best, you'll get it for a corner. At worst, you'll get an own goal. So it's horses for courses. I've noticed over the last, I would think last year, that more teams, and you see Robertson and Trent Alexander, and we've watched the team as the best example of that. You see their 2 fullbacks are as good as anyone in the world, in my opinion, at producing crosses the right way for front men. Why do you think Firmino, Mane, Salah score so many goals from the wide areas? They're not 6'4", you know, Well, they're not huge guys who tower above people. No, the quality of the cross gives defenders a nightmare, Richard, because it's coming across them, away from goal and across them. And that's what makes it, in my opinion, really difficult to defend.
This should have been the second of two that we were watching tonight. The earlier game, Tottenham-Fulham, that was postponed because of an outbreak of COVID in the Fulham camp. Jose Mourinho hugely unimpressed that 4 hours from a scheduled kickoff, Spurs didn't know if they were starting or not. More on that in just a moment.